Okay, I think for this third video, I think what we're going to do is we're going to paint the little details. The plate, the biscuits, the knife and fork, and if we have time we'll paint the hat. Okay? I've already wetted the plate and the biscuits, and I've put on a primer coat and then a first coat of silver on the fork and the knife. I didn't paint the handles because I want them to be wood, so I want to paint them wooden color. But first we're going to paint these little biscuits. And there's really not much to paint in them. I'm just going to start with some white. And I think I'll just paint it just straight on there. It's going to be kind of messy, but things are messy. Just paint the whole thing's white. Much to that. I'm really laying the paint on here because I want them to really be white. I don't want to have to go back and double coat them again. Good. Just set those over there. Put that away. Go wash my hair. We got our biscuits painted. We're going to just let them sit over there and dry. Now I'm going to do the knife and fork. Now this silver color is much too bright. Silverware just does not look like that after it's been used a long time. So what I'm going to do now is paint that. Get some silver out here. That's a lousy color. And remember to get me another tube of silver when I go to the store. Try this old one, it's probably better. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little bit of midnight blue. More than enough. And some black. And I'm just going to take that out of the lid there. So let's just mix these together. And I'll just take a little bit of black over there. That looks good. I know this looks a little dark, but we're going to fix that. Can't lay it down or it'll stick on the paint. Dry my brush here. Just kind of scrape that away. right there on the edge where the knife cuts. If I can do this. Yep. Make a little adjustment here. A lot of these things you do, or I do, maybe you too, won't even be noticed by the person. In other words, they won't see that. They'll just take it as the way it's supposed to be because it looks so natural. But you'll notice it. And they notice it. It's just that they don't realize they're noticing it. If that makes any sense. Because it just looks natural. Oh, it looks pretty good. Now, after a bit, I'll come back and I'll put a little bit more silver, plain silver, right there on that edge. Again, just to give it a little more bright appearance. Okay? So I'm going to set these here. Like that. Move on to the plate. Now, plates, back in the cowboy days that this guy was living in. Oh, to make this plate, how I made it was, I drew my circle on my wood, and then I got a Forstner bit. I have a set of Forstner bits. They go from pretty big, I think this is the largest size, down to small. And what they do is they drill a flat hole. So that's the center of the bit right there. So I drilled that hole, then I cut it out, and then I carved the plate out. It's quite simple. Anyway, getting back to this thing. What we want is we want a blue enamel plate. I like color contrast, so with the beans and the biscuits, and I'll use this blue right here while I've got it. Will be a lot of color there. Oh, raining out there, chirping. Keeping my eye on my time here, because yesterday we made those first two videos as one, and it was over 30 minutes, and because of the speed of my internet connection out here, if it's something real long, it times out. Yesterday it timed out after about probably 5 hours or so like that, and it's just so irritating to get that far and then have the thing time out when it reached the 89% mark. So I had to go back in and divide the video in two and start the whole process all over again. So this today we're going to keep it a little shorter. Need some more blue. Well, today, oops, got a plug there, that's why it ain't coming out. Pretty soon, oh, hang on here. I'll clean that off of there later. It's kind of gross. Anyway, we're getting a new video hookup here pretty soon. The local Regional Electric REC outfit is installing fiber optics right down our road. And once we get our connection up and running, we'll have speeds gazillion times faster than what we're dealing with now. It's going to really be nice. I'm not really worried about the bottom of the bowl, bottom of the plate, that, excuse me, because it's going to be covered with beans and musical fruit. I do worry about the bottom of this plate because whoever buys this carving will no doubt pick it up and look at it. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to dry this and we'll continue on with the next step. Okay, my plate's pretty dry. I've washed my hands again and screwed this plate onto my little holder here. Got my toothbrush here, old toothbrush. Got me some white paint here. Dip that in there. Putting some stuff on here, trying to make it look like an old metal plate. Don't overdo it.
Can't see anything. Hand is in the
Good enough. Don't like that right there, but maybe I can hide that under his thumb. There's another way big one. I'll take care of all these little mistakes. Anyway, put that in there. Set that aside to dry. And guess what? Wash my hands again. Okay, I've got my biscuits here. Fairly dry. It's still a little damp. But I've squeezed me out some yellow ochre and some asphaltum brown here. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take some brown and paint the top of my biscuit. Just down to the edge. Got to remember when these were in the pan, baking, the biscuits rose so that outside of the biscuit is white where it was separated from the surrounding biscuits. When you bake biscuits, you always want the biscuits to touch when you put them in the baking pan. That way, the only way they get to go is up. So there we have the top of one biscuit, and we'll just pull this down here too, just a little bit. Take a little of that yellow ochre, just kind of dab it on there, and then kind of mix it together. Looks good. I can't really do this because it's still wet. As you can see, it's coming off on my fingers, and I do not want to touch that top. But what I'm going to do as a last step, I won't show you this, but I'll show you just a little of it. Just take a little of the yellow ochre and just paint it around the very bottom edge of the biscuit. You can see that that it does look like a nice little biscuit. See there, I got some brown on my hands. I have to be real careful here. But anyway, we'll move along and I'll do these here in a little bit off camera, okay? So where are we now? Knife and fork, okay. All right, we want to paint the handles brown. I got me some brown right here. Just like that, looks good. Wash that, I want to dry this real quick. Bumping up against my time slot here. Turn my biscuit over. Okay, get some black. Just a final little detail here. Find me a dowel. This is a 1/8 inch dowel. I'm going to put a dot right there. And a dot right there. Good. And a dot right there. Dry that real quick. Now again, these details, one of these little rivets that I'm putting on here probably won't even show. But again, that's the way it's supposed to be, so that's the way I want to do it. Gold out here. Pick it up. Get me a toothpick this time. And put a little dot right in the center of that black. Like that. What the black does is it creates an outline to the gold, which makes it stand out that much more. Like that. There you go. So there you have your fork. And then we got our plate done, we got our biscuits done. They look pretty nice. They look nice on that plate, sitting next to those beans. And our fork and knife, once they go into his hand, will look real nice too. So that's going to do it for this video. I've bumped up against 18 minutes, and I think that's going to be the limit that my circle will allow for now. So, till next time, I'll talk to you later.